All right, good. Are we streaming? Are we live? We are? Good. Hello and welcome. I'm Seymour Signet, a founder and CEO of MAGFAST. Welcome to you, whoever you are, wherever you are on the face of the planet. I think we're in 65 countries now. Welcome to Power Pivot number two. We did Power Pivot 1 a few weeks ago, and I don't know, did we bring down the internet? Something happened. It crashed and froze halfway through. And still, the few people for whom the stream continued thought that what we showed was incredible. So we're back to do Power Pivot 2 with the latest and greatest. We're going to include the core of that presentation and add one or two extras for you. It's going to be a busy, busy day, so please start getting excited and help me welcome two of my closest colleagues, Kate Kennard and Rex Northern, to the room. Greetings, guys.
Hi
Hi.
there. Hi.
Kate, as you know, my co-host for many of these live events. Rex is our director of special projects. He's involved in all of these key initiatives. Thank you so much. Welcome. You got one sentence each before we start because we've got a lot to get to today.
Oh gosh, okay. I'm very, very excited to be here, and thank you all for being here as well. And I can't wait to see what y'all are going to see.
That was more than one sentence. I'm going to take 16. No, very exciting moment for MAGFAST. Start getting excited.
Okay, great, guys. We will see you in just a minute. Listen, here at MAGFAST, it is not business as usual, as you're about to see. A busy, busy hour coming up for you with a lot coming up. We're going to reveal some new top secret stuff that we have never shown in public before. I'm going to explain to you the importance of DEG, why it matters in the world of charging, and what we are going to do about it. I'm going to show you some incredible, truly incredible. We're going to demo some incredible new technology, 10 years in the making. Going to show you 5 incredible new products, radical new products that we're really, really excited about. Plus, one new business model that I think can be huge for those investors who are with us, welcome, who've been with us for a while. This could be the most important change in really quite a long time. We're going to update on the trees total. We've been planting trees for years now at MAGFAST. We'll give you the latest on that. And yeah, there will be a chance for those who want to invest in MAGFAST a little bit later on. Plus, for those who do want to invest, we're going to have a very special offer. Excuse me. And I mentioned just now, we are going to have a Q&A later on. So if you want to send us your questions, please do that right away. We'll get to as many of them as we can. And I think we're actually planning to have a special Q&A next week, Tuesday. So any questions we don't get to today, we'll include in the Q&A next week. And joining us for the Q&A will be our most active investor, one of our earliest investors who now spends hours with us every single week, helping to take MAGFAST to the next level. You'll meet him just a little bit later on. Oh, and one fun thing we're doing, when software developers put little secrets, they call them Easter eggs, hidden inside their software. We've hidden 3 Easter eggs inside this presentation. We've hidden them in places where we think if you have a business of your own, or you're interested in business or marketing or just life in general, we've hidden the Easter eggs at particular points in the presentation that we think are worth studying and worth understanding because of their importance to our business, and possibly ideas you could copy for your own. They'll be hiding in plain sight on the screen, so keep your eyes peeled on the slides as we go along. So listen, thank you, as I say, whoever you are, wherever you are. It looks like some people are still coming in. So Philip, can we just bring up the slides quickly? I'll just do a little bit of a background on me and how I got here as the founder. Despite this funny accent, I'm actually an American citizen, live in New York. But yeah, I grew up and went to school in England, studied engineering at Oxford University, and have a pretty good talent for engineering, but I was never a very diligent student, drove my tutors absolutely crazy, in fact. And after college, in fact, didn't do engineering, but went and worked for a couple of the big advertising agencies in London studying marketing. And then for a while, I lived overseas and got involved in some very big product launches, product launches have been one of the big successes now at MAGFAST for Coca-Cola and also for the launch of Virgin Atlantic service from London to Johannesburg. While I was there, I got involved with some business software, a new kind of business software for small companies. That took me over to California, where I worked with a bunch of other startups as well, and learned some really critical business skills before switching across coasts here to the Hudson Valley in New York, where I met and married my sweetheart, Amy. Thank you. this wouldn't be possible without her, right in front of the Hudson River. And it wasn't long before we had a beautiful and very funny baby, who we also called Hudson. Here she is actually on her first birthday, right in front of the river. Anyway, shortly after this excitement, we had an idea one day for a product, for a charging product. And this was at the time that Kickstarter and Indiegogo were really starting to fly. We put it up there and it quickly became the all-time number one. We raised something like $650,000, I think it was at the time, the most successful crowdfunding campaign, not of all time, but I think it was the all-time number one crowdfunded mobile accessory. And off of the back of that, I got invited to speak on a bunch of podcasts on various stages and so on. I was invited to this incredible entrepreneurial retreat hosted by Virgin founder Richard Branson, no less, which was every bit as amazing as you're thinking it is. There's Richard there, and can you just see, there's me. There's the top of my head in the middle of the meeting. Don't believe me? Insufficient evidence? Yeah, there I am. Well, how about this? There I am getting into the spirit of things perhaps a little bit too much around a campfire with him and some others in the middle of the night. Anyway, that first invention went on to ship over 250,000 units. And the quality is so good that to this day, this is almost a decade later, people tell me that they use them every day. The problem was that in late 2015, that business grew so quickly, 400% in 2 months at one point. It was just crazy that it had the classic cash flow problems when things grow too fast for young businesses and you're not ready. And we wound up losing the business. So 2015, 2016 were incredibly painful until recently. I think it was probably the toughest thing that I've ever experienced, certainly in business. But after that, we got in touch with our customers and said, look, do you think we should go around again? And we did an online quiz. I think 84% of them said, yeah, absolutely, go around again. So we did a test launch after several months of very intensive work. We did a test launch to see if anyone would love our new ideas about the future of charging. And it was very, very exciting. We'd invited this whole email list of people, I forget the exact number, but tens of thousands of folks to come and see our launch. And when it launched, it looked something like this. After a long wait, we were looking, not knowing if anyone was going to be interested at all. And then we started watching the screen, and suddenly the numbers just started flying and flying on the screen. It was truly incredible. One of the most remarkable experiences of my life, actually. And I think when all was said and done, it was something like 250,000 in the first 10 or 15 minutes, a total of $623,000 in just the first 24 hours. So many of the folks who supported us then are here today. I just want to say a huge, huge thank you to all of you who are here now, many of whom have gone on to become investors. And of course, we're going to invite you to join them today if you would like. So here at Business Right Now, it is not business as usual. We've had some big challenges over the last few years. But I think the changes that we've made in the course of this year are really spectacular, and we're going to talk about them today. We're going to talk about three main things today. We're going to show you some stunning new products. We're going to talk a little bit about some bold, new, broad-based marketing, and also a very exciting new business model. And we're going to do it all. We're going to hear a lot today. We're not going to do it all at once. We're going to do it step by step. Starting with one or two of the products that you're going to see today, incorporating the extraordinary new technology that we're going to show you a demonstration of today. Just before we start on the first of those, I do want to do a quick confession. I mentioned that we had some very significant challenges over the course of our life. And earlier this year, there was a time when me and the team thought that we were not going to make it. You're going to meet later on the man who helped us to turn that around. But I do want to just kind of address the elephant in the room. We had major challenges shipping the original products, not the new products. We don't sell anything today that isn't ready to ship. But the development of the original product, the vision was fantastic, but we made some mistakes in our vendor selection early on that meant that it took way longer and was way more expensive to make those products. The pandemic didn't help. but it was not. It just exasperated some decisions, frankly, some mistakes that I had made earlier on. As you see, we're committed to making outstanding products, and tens of thousands of customers agree. Like, we have a great deal of traction. The mailing list is many, many tens of thousands. It's actually in the hundreds of thousands now, but most people quote the total number on their list. They don't quote the active number. The active number is in the tens of thousands. And we have a good amount of traction. But we messed up in the past, and people who are unhappy tend to be much more vocal. If you look online, I think about 91% of the reviews are great, but 9% are horrible, because online folks can be, as you know, can be unreserved in their language. But for the most part, we look pretty good on all the main review sites, and we love our customers. Let's have a look at this one. Yeah, Patricia, honestly worth the wait. Long review, we've edited it here. She says, I can honestly say that MAGFAST was worth the wait. Charges faster than any other product I've ever used. Keep up the great work, Seymour and the MAGFAST team. She's one of almost 5,000 customers, over 5,000 customers now, who've gone on to become investors in the company. And I love this from Jerry Goodman. He gave us 5 stars on Trustpilot. Bottom line, he says, I am thrilled with MAGFAST, the vision, the passion, the attention to quality, safety, customer support, and their perseverance is a welcome thrill. All right, so let's kick this thing off and talk about products. One of our themes, enduring themes at MAGFAST, is that the products have to be delightful. Everything is about trying to create an exceptional experience. Let's be honest, the world doesn't need any more chargers. You can go to Amazon. There's, depending on the day, 2,000, 5,000 will come up if you just search on the word chargers. MAGFAST products have to be delightful. They have to be next level. They've got to be speedy, got to be super speedy. They've got to be part of a system. We're going to explain the system strategy a bit later on, but it's key to the customer experience, and also to creating a much more valuable business for our investors. And it's also incredibly important that they are smart. And this is something new in chargers. We think we're at the cutting edge of this. We'll talk a little bit more about it later on. So what do we mean? What do we mean by speedy? Well, Gen 1, our first generation of products, they adopted the fastest standards of the day. The Gen 2 that we're going to show you now builds on the modern fastest standards, which are way ahead of Gen 1. So the products I'm about to show you, they won't just be speedy, they will be the speediest. Not just fast, they're engineered to be the world's fastest chargers and power banks, bar none. MAGFAST Gen 2 is going to have 2 unique technologies. First, an ultra-fast, 100% compatible new connector. We announced it earlier this year. We're not going to be covering it today, but it is patent and trademark pending, and we're very excited with the progress. It's a real game changer, and we will do one of these streams. We'll do an update on it soon. But today we're introducing a second remarkable new technology from our partners at iOntra. It's going to be a remarkable new way to charge your power bank, your battery charger, with both huge improvements in the economy of the product, the longevity of the product, and the speed in which it can be recharged. So we're very excited about these changes and look forward to showing you it just in the minutes ahead. This technology, this iOntra technology, is 10 years in the making. Seriously, 10 years in the making. And it's going to allow battery performance 3, 4, 5, sometimes even 10 times greater than the existing products today. Those are big, bold claims, but I'm here to tell you that this has been checked out by independent laboratories, by UL Solutions. You have UL written on the back of half the products you have around your house have been certified. Electrical products have been certified by UL, the century-old testing lab, most respected in industry. Also by NREL, that's the National Renewable Energy Lab, as part of the US Department of Energy. There's also, you may not have heard of a company called Novonix, very advanced lithium-ion tech company. They've run independent tests on this, plus the University of Michigan. So this stuff has been independently tested. Let's take a look at it. So This is a partnership between iAntra and MAGFAST, and we couldn't be more excited about it. Let me just give you the background. Rechargeable battery packs are terrific. They're so much better than disposables because you can recharge them. All right, but they have two significant big problems. One is that they are slow. When you grab one of these things and start to charge it, and we'll do it a little bit, we'll do it in a few minutes and see how it is. We'll actually run the numbers on it, but they are slow to charge. Okay, they can be very slow to charge. The other thing is that they suffer from what's called DEG, and DEG is a big problem as well. DEG is degradation. It's the loss of capacity by any kind of battery, but a rechargeable battery over the life of the battery, shortening the life of the battery. It's a kind of an irreversible loss of its ability to receive and store charge and then push it out again. What happens is that there's a rise in internal resistance, and it causes this to happen. If we can just run the, thank you, Philip, if we can just run the graph here, what happens is that for most batteries today, most typical consumer power banks, something like 500, occasionally a bit longer, sometimes less, but something like 500 cycles from the product. And if you look at it at a microscopic level, we can just zoom in and bring it up here. You can see the difference under an electron microscope. On the left, that's what the internals look like, what the metal looks like inside the battery at the beginning of its life, and in no time at all, there's been this huge growth on the surface, and that means that most of these products just wind up as junk. The total value, this was an estimate that we did with a little bit of help from ChatGPT, so I don't know if it's right to the nearest billion, but it gives you an idea. Back of envelope AI estimate, $65 billion a year is the estimate that we have on the value of rechargeable batteries that have to be thrown away because they've reached the end of their life. So let's take a look at what the culprit is. What is the culprit? Well, rechargeable batteries are made up of a bunch of batteries plus this thing inside, all right, that is called the BMS. It's the battery management system, and it consists of a little chip to run the software, and then the software that regulates absolutely everything. The problem is that it's really not very sophisticated. And here's what happens. I just want to bring up the graph. You imagine that when it's moderating, because it's controlling the electricity going in to recharge the battery, right? So you imagine that when the thing is running, that it's control. You can see it dips over a little bit on the right, so it's a nice steady charge like that. And then as the battery starts to fill up, it'll dip it off slowly. But in practice, when you put the instruments on it, it doesn't look smooth at all. It looks like a real mess on not some, but pretty much everything that is out there. There's a bunch of reasons that this happens, but the long and the short of it is it's this wildly changing current that causes all of this degradation inside of the battery. And it turns out that if we can only smooth this current out, and now we can, you get a series of incredible benefits. This smarter battery management system means that we can now make a power bank with the longest cycle life. We can maximize its capacity. You can literally store more electricity, more power inside every battery. We can also get a much faster charge in and out for when you're in a hurry. We can get better cold temperature performance as well, the best in the industry. And also there are significant safety improvements. So that's what we're able to do with this technology. And I just want, Philip, if you can bring it up, I just want to show you this truly extraordinary video. Let's just get it up on the screen. So before I start it, so on the left is a regular battery. Okay, that's your before. And on the right, and these are both under an electron microscope. Okay, we're looking at a microscopic level at the, as I say, the metallic contacts inside the battery. We're now going to run it over. Look at the top of the screen, 1,200 cycles. Okay, which is way longer, by the way, than the lifetime of most batteries. And I'm just going to run this now. And what you can see is that with this new technology in our new power banks on the right, there is virtually no buildup at all. And meanwhile, the traditional battery on the left it's growing and growing and growing. So by the time we reach 1200, the thing is really pretty much unusable. Let's just run it one more time because it's so extraordinary. So I think this is the clearest, the easiest way to explain this explanation, the easiest way to explain what's going on here. This extraordinary buildup on the left and almost no buildup on the right. It doesn't make the battery life infinite, but it does make a very significant difference. And you remember this DEG graph that I showed you on? What we're able to do now is to take a battery that previously had this kind of profile and give it this kind of profile. It's an extraordinary difference. And what this means is because the product itself is going to last something like twice as long, depending on the way we program it, maybe up to 3 times as long. And it means that your cost per charge during the life of the thing is a half or a third of what it was previously. So even though we can't sell the product for cheap, it's still going to be, not a premium price, but a kind of, a solidly priced product. The value is going to be off the charts for customers. One of the ways we look at it is like this, with something that we call the performance window. So this would be kind of a classic performance window for for a standard. And this, by the way, is a great product from one of our competitors. One of the best products that's out there at the moment. A typical performance window might be something like 90 minutes to charge and 500 cycles. This one does about a little bit longer than 90 minutes, but it's kind of small and has other advantages. So that would be a typical performance window. But we now get to choose with the work we do. Would we like to maybe extend the life, keep it at a 90-minute recharge, but maybe go up to 1,000 cycles now because we've got this much reduced degradation? Or might we want to go the other way with our performance window and go for a faster charge, maybe 50 minutes, something like that, and keep it at 500 cycles? So those are the kind of choices that we're now going to be able to make thanks to this partnership with our friends at iAntra. And I'm going to show you later on. We're going to demonstrate it and show you some of the choices that we're making when we do the demo a little bit later on. So we're really excited about this technology. iAntra are working with several companies, but they're working with us to be first to market in a power bank. And if I may, I just want to take a couple of minutes and show you what we have in mind for the first power bank. Power banks have very silly terminology in the way that they name themselves. They're named, or their capacity is this thing called milliamp hours, which is very technical, but basically 10,000 milliamp hours is a really good solid mid-market size. You get 2 to 3 smartphone charges from it, maybe 1 or 2 tablet charges, and an extra 1 to 3, sometimes even 4 hours powering a laptop. So this is a really, really good number for a first product. We're really excited to do that. And from a marketing point of view, there's lots of segments of the market for which it is suitable. Frequent travelers, it's great for that. Students, remote workers, outdoor enthusiasts, great for the rental market as well, for corporate and business. Frankly, it's suitable for just about everyone. And so this is what we have in mind as our very first 10,000 milliamp hour product. If we can just bring it up full screen there, please. And as you can see, this thing, we haven't named it yet. You're so early, we haven't even named it yet. But it's going to be a new Pro charger, the MAGFAST 10,000 milliamp hour charger. We're absolutely delighted with it. So let's take a closer look. So the first thing is, it's going to be fast at getting power out through wireless magnetic charging. Wireless magnetic charging, if you're not familiar with it, is absolutely fantastic. Most modern phones have this ring of magnets on the back, and you can just snap. This is the competitor's product here, but you can just snap it right on the back if it has this ring of magnets within it. So we love wireless charging. You can also get them to go on your desk or whatever. I have to say, since I switched over to this a couple of years ago, I never charge any other way. I've got one of these in my car now. I have them by the bed, on the desk, in the den, in the kitchen, in the office, absolutely everywhere. So wireless charging, even though it's not that widely adopted yet, is now available on pretty much all new phones. There's now a new industry standard called Qi 2, and we're building it in both in and out. Okay. Out to charge your phone and in so you can get power into the device like that. We're also going to have 2 USB-C plugs on it, or sockets, I should say, on it. Powerful twin USB-C ports for wired charging in and out. That's getting charge out into your other devices, and for recharging. They're going to be the same as each other. You're not going to have to figure out which one to use for which. So they're going to be, they're both going to be first amongst equals. For getting power out, you'll be able to get a total of 130. So maybe 100 watts out of one, there's a laptop on one, and more than enough for a phone on the other, or you can do it the other way around, maybe do 30 on one and 100 on the other. Or if you've got maybe 2 tablets that 2 tablets, plug them in at once, they get 65 each, which is plenty for the most of the time. Total of 130 watts of charging. And for recharging, a total of 140, because with the Iandra technology that we've just shown you, we're going to be able to move power into the things really, really quickly. So we're super excited about this. The thing is gorgeous. It's going to be perfect on your desk, perfect for laptops and smartphones and tablets, for pretty much just about everything. And it includes this beautiful screen. Okay, this gorgeous screen. Let's take a closer look at that. Okay, you can see nice, beautiful, simple iconography. Let's just zoom in a little bit, please. Thank you. Yeah, super simple and intuitive. All right. So the thing's going to be very simple to use, super fast to use. But what about taking advantage of this new technology? We have a choice to make. Do we want to go for longer life? Maybe do a little better than the industry and recharge in maybe 90 minutes, maybe a little bit less than that, maybe get 1,000 cycles. So we're kind of about with the industry on speed of charging, but with lots of extra cycles to make it a kind of an eco product that lasts longer. Or should we go the other way and make it super fast to charge? Maybe get down to 50, maybe a little less minutes, but keep it at 500 cycles. Well, we've done the math, we've asked around, and here's the decision we've made. All of MAGFAST's new power banks that use this technology will do both. We're going to optimize both for the speed of the charge. We think we can get down to 30 minutes, maybe even a little better, and up to 11 or 1,200 cycles. We're going to go for the maximum performance window, and we're super excited about it. And I just want to stress that these are early estimates. All right. We'll give the exact figures later, but we're pretty confident that we can get to both of these numbers. Well, how is it that we're able to do both? Well, I don't know if you noticed when we were looking at the screen a little bit earlier on, but we can just zoom in here. There were 2 markers on the screen that you might not have noticed when I showed it to you earlier on: Turbo and Eco. Turbo and Eco. Let's just drill into those a little bit. So Eco is going to be the default setting. It's going to be the default, and it's going to maximize product life, okay, and give you a kind of normal and industry normal recharge time. So if you just plug into charge, the system is going to assume that you want the product to be around for as long as possible and have the maximum life. But when you are in a hurry, you can hit up Turbo. It's going to be a one-touch select. You'll touch a single button on the product, a single touch to select it. It's going to be a very fast recharge time, as you've just seen. All right. And each time you do that, there'll be a slight degradation in the full lifetime of the product. But we think that most of the time, folks won't need the fast recharge. Most of the time, you plug it in, you go to bed for the night. You don't need a fast recharge. Or you're going out at lunchtime, it's breakfast time. You plug it in. Most of the time, you don't need fast. But when you do need fast, you really do need fast. You're going to press a button and get this super fast charge, and maybe you'll lose a cycle or 2 off of the end of the product life. There's going to be, of course, a great app to go with this, with beautiful, nice, simple screens, intuitive, easy settings. Isn't this nice, huh? And of course, there's going to be places that you can do your preferences and so on as well. And what we realize as we're working on this is that with all of this inside, we're now making kind of a smart device. It's got this nice big battery, a beautiful screen, powerful chip to run the charging technology. It's going to have buttons on it, Bluetooth, and an app. It's truly a modern smart device. Well, what do we mean by smart device? All kinds of modern devices are smart. Of course, smartphones are smart, but nowadays modern cars, they download new software every few weeks. Your fitness tracker is a smart device. The thermostat in your house, you get a new modern one, it's a smart device. Smart speakers, fridges, you name it. And so the MAGFAST chargers, starting with the 10K, are going to be smart devices in the true sense. It's going to be all kinds of things that we can do with this philosophy. We're not really ready to announce it just yet. Some very, very cool ideas in development. But I would say no promises yet, but we think we've got a very, very cool way of making you significantly more secure online with all the kind of phishing and everything going on today. We think there's a way we can use this smart device to help kind of verify that you're secure on your other devices. Stand by, no promises, but we're pretty excited about it. So as well as being a smart device, we think this is going to be a very smart choice for consumers. Why? Well, because with the most cycles, the longest product life, and with the world's fastest charging, we also think we can get the highest possible consumer satisfaction rates. And after 10K, we want to take all of these benefits right into a couple of other products, eventually to many, many more. But initially, we want to do a 5,000 milliamp hour product. So that's half the capacity, but it comes in this really nice form factor. Looks something like this. Okay, nice and slim, perfect for carrying around all day. And because it's going to have Qi 2 built into it, it's again going to have the fastest possible charging of your phone. And because of our technology inside, it's going to have the fastest recharging of the product when you take it home. We're going to build in Qi 2 in and out. You'll be able to take it home and just snap it onto a charger at home like this, and then take it off and put it straight onto your phone like this. So it's going to be a little while. It's going to be the second product that we bring out, but 5,000 milliamp hours. We think this is going to be the scale product. This is the one where we can see very large numbers of units in mass distribution, super convenient, pop it in your pocket. I don't think we can necessarily do the world's very slimmest because we're going to need a little extra millimeter for all of our technology, but super slim, super powerful, and with the technology inside, with Iontra inside, we're going to be able to maximize the capacity of the battery and the speed of charging and recharging as well. So we're super excited about the 5K. And then the other form factor that we want to do, the other capacitor that we want to do, is 27,000 milliamp hours. And I know that sounds like a bit of an odd choice, but if ever there were people who appreciate lots of power and lots of speed, it is the road warrior, the traveler. And 27,000 milliamp hours is the maximum that you're allowed to take onto an airplane. Okay, the international regulations, national regulations, 27,000 milliamp hours. You're not allowed to take more than that with you onto the plane. So we're going to do it in this very, very slim form factor, still with, we believe, the very fastest charging in and out. All right, but in this really interesting slim form factor. And there's a reason for that. If you get one of these larger capacity power banks at the moment, it probably looks something like this. This is a great product, by the way, from a competitor. I use it. I love it. But when I slip it into my bag, I'm one of those people who takes one of those backpacks with kind of an area for the laptop inside. But when I want to slip it in there, but the same is true if you have a laptop bag, they're typically kind of slim like this. You want to put this in with it as well, throw it in with a cable. You put this in, it's like, where does it go? It either doesn't fit at all, or it puts a great big kind of bulge in the thing, and it's very, very awkward in there. So for our 27K product, another super pro, super fast, world's fastest charge, but in and out, we're going to go for this very, very slim form factor like this. It's going to slide in alongside your laptop. We think it's going to be fantastic, super convenient. We can't wait to get these into people's hands, and investors are going to be top of the pile. And we're always going to give investors a chance to get in first whenever we ship new products. So that's it for power banks for now, but I want to show you a couple more things as well. When you're at home, you want to charge your stuff and not from a battery, you want to plug in. I showed you earlier on this form factor. This was just a mock-up that we did a little bit earlier in the year, but now on your screen is the home charger that we're planning to build, again, with the fastest possible charging on the market. Let's take a closer look at it. On the left there, it is kind of naked, and on the right, here's how it's going to be able to stack up. You're going to be able to put your phone up there on the top, or possibly a small tablet if it has Qi. This is the magnetic charging on it. and you're going to be able to stack power banks onto it as well. Let me just show you roughly how that looks here. If we can just come to me, you'll be able to put your phone on here like this. You'll be able to stack, you'll be able to recharge like that. And I don't actually have any here, but you'll be able to put, because our chargers are going to be in and out wireless charging, you'll be able to put, let's get a little set of headphones on there as well, or possibly stack multiples at once. Let's take a look at this. So again, here's the naked charger, and let's put it up. There it is, naked. Let's put it up with phone on it. And if you look closely now, do you see that we've got both the charger and the phone? We've got the 5K and the phone. I can simulate that for you here. You just cut to me. We're going to have the charger like that. You're going to be able to put the 5K on it like that, or the 10K, to be honest, and then your phone on as well. Nobody else has this, and this is super convenient. I want you to watch. If I've got a busy day ahead of me, I leave, I grab both together, and I go off for the day. You see how it works like this? I come in at the end of the day, I put them both on, and both start to charge, because we're going to have pass-through charging, right? So the battery's now charging and passing through to the phone as well. On a normal day, I go out and I leave the charger on there. So this is super. Remember I said it has to be delightful. We have to be doing things that are delightful and better for customers. We think that this design is so simple, but it's absolutely incredible, and just no one else is doing it at all. You're also going to be able to stack individual chargers on it like this. And around the back, we're going to have a third of these Qi charging stations like this. And the reason for that is so that you've got a place to conveniently put your 27K, your slate. So we could not be more excited about these designs. We just think that they're absolutely incredible. We can't wait to get them in your hands. In order to support it, we're going to need a new cable. I'll tell you more about Lux Pro in a second, but we've got a fantastic, more than enough 240-watt cable called Lux Pro. We're going to introduce a black version of it to support this super fast charging. And we're going to bring a 140-watt power brick as well. MAGFAST Power Brick Pro 140. And so when we launch, there'll be this kit, which is the three of them together. So we think this is pretty exciting. It has all of the best of MAGFAST's original vision of a system of products that all work and stack beautifully together. It's got the magic of MAGFAST, magnetic and fast MAGFAST. And we think Gen 2 is going to be off the charts, especially with the world's fastest charging technology inside. All right, so coming up, I've got one more just incredible product thing for you. But I can see that already a lot of people are asking how to invest in the company. I'm going to cover this in more detail later on, but I'll just jump in quickly and give you some of the details now. Right now, it is possible to invest in MAGFAST. You'll be joining, I think it's 5,375 of our existing, mostly customers who've become investors. And we've got a bunch of benefits at the moment for folks who choose to invest. First of all of our investors, whether you invest now or whether you're already an investor, are going to get early VIP access to the Gen 2 products that you've just seen, and some very special investor pricing. And we've got some bonuses. If you invest over $1,000 in this round, I'm going to show you Lux Pro, these gorgeous, super premium, upgraded new cables we're working on. They'll be shipping soon. I'll tell you more about them a little bit later in the presentation, but it's a gift worth $185 for every $1,000 that you choose to go ahead and invest in this round. Also, if you invest today, you're going to get guaranteed inclusion in the first production run of these new products. And for every $500 that you invest, you get $100 worth of vouchers towards products. So I know that's a lot. We'll cover it in more detail later on. But right now, magfast.com/invest, magfast.com/invest, or if you're watching us live on our own site, there should be a button somewhere around me, maybe below me, where you can go and invest right now in MAGFAST. As I say, join over 5,000 of our customers and investors. All right, as I said, coming up in just a minute, I've got one more incredible product thing for you. But I think right now, it's time to do the demo, time to show you this technology working in practice. Just as a reminder, It has been checked out and certified by UL Solutions, the century-old testing lab. You have their logo all over your home on the back of products that have been checked and verified by the US Department of Energy, by Novonix, the big advanced lithium-ion tech company, and by the University of Michigan. But let's bring in Rex right now. Philip, can we bring him in, please? Hey, Rex. Now, we ran this when we did Power Pivot 1. This is Power Pivot 2 streaming right now. But when we did Power Pivot 1, we had this big internet outage, which not only affected, and it wasn't us, it was the interwebs itself. Not only affected the stream, the broadcast that was going out, but also the test rack of equipment. Because you were in a whole room full of equipment in Denver, right?
Right. So I was in Denver with the Iontra team, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But just to kind of explain, this is a technology which, as you've mentioned, 10 years in the making, tens of millions of dollars behind it, and which we have the opportunity to be the very first to utilize. So it's a very exciting moment for MAGFAST, an exciting moment for everyone who's invested in MAGFAST and anyone who's considering investing in MAGFAST. So yes, I was in Denver, and we set up a test rack showing how one of these power banks will perform in reality. So in fact, I think that you're going to show an image of this in a moment. The test rack we had set up is kind of, if you like, a power bank before it gets squished down inside the little case that we will.
Right. So all the technology was there. It just wasn't in the kind of consumer envelope, meaning the shape that it will be when we sell it to consumers. In fact, Philip, can we bring up that we have a slide? I think. Yeah. So this is the on the right there. You can see the rack itself, which has several pieces of equipment on. It's the top one that we're concerned with here, and the yellow is the part that we're concerned with, and then we've got the timer over there. Let me just kind of zoom in on the bits here, because the three things that we're truly concerned with here, all right, are the voltage. Now, consumers don't care about the voltage as long as it's correct, but it is the voltage that allows you to determine the charge level of the power bank. Is that correct, Rex?
That is exactly right. Yeah. So the numbers that you're seeing here are kind of interpreted. There's an interface, they call it their dashboard, which interprets the voltage in that power bank in the test rack and tells you a percentage charged. Exactly.
Right. In case you want to check it, we've got the whole of the original video posted for you at magfast.com/proof. But right now, we're just going to zoom in on these key areas, the percentage that the battery is charged. And then in the lower left there, you can see the actual piece of measuring equipment from the rack and the timer as well. All right. Now, the other thing we're going to do, Philip, if we can just get Rex and I up on the screen, is we've both got this product, which we're not going to name, but it's a really terrific product. You saw me snapping it onto a phone earlier on. This is a worthy competitor's 10,000 milliamp hour product. We like it. We use it. And it's kind of the industry standard for this kind of thing. And we're going to charge it right now live at the same time as we run the test video. And we're going to see
Lux cable right here.
You're using MAGFAST Lux. I'm actually, Philip, if you could do the overhead camera for a second, I'm just going to show folks my setup here. All right, so I've got just a power strip here. Sorry, the camera overhead is kind of bit of a ropey old webcam, but you can still see what's going on. But here's the competitor's charger. We're going to charge here. This is their cable that it came with. It came with a cable, all right? And this is our new 140 watt a power brick. So we know we're providing masses of power if this thing can take it. And I'm just going to press the button on the side. Where is it here? And just show you. Can we see that on the camera? Can you see? Is it showing a very faint 0? I don't know if it's showing up there or not, whether you can see it. It's very, very dim. I'm not sure how well it showed up on the camera there. But yeah, so this is a 0% charge. Rex is going to plug his in. I'm going to plug mine in. And we're going to run the demo reel as well. And we're going to check in from time to time and see how charged this product is. 10,000 milliamp hours, top brand, state of the art, how these are charging as compared to the demo rack. So you ready?
I'm ready with my MAGFAST Lux. Yeah. You're ready with your other brand cable. and we both have exactly the same charger.
Very good. But just to be clear, this is the cable that came with the product. So, so let's go 3. You know what? Let's start ours first. Let's start the demo. So if you can just bring it up on screen, Philip. Now, here we go. Here's our. There it is. Here's our charge starting. I'm quickly plug these in so they're going at the same time. So just to explain, we're comparing the speed of top industry state-of-the-art products, how fast they are charging, compared to ours with the Iontra technology inside. Mine's still showing 0% here. I don't know about you, Rex.
I have 0%. And a guess, it's telling us how long it reckons it's going to take to charge.
Yeah, let's see if we can just get that on the top camera, just in case you can see it. Go to the top camera, please, Philip. And I don't know, man, it's very, very dark in there, isn't it? But what it says is 0%, and it's estimating 2 hours and 34 minutes to go. Meanwhile, our charge is already at 4.5%, and for anyone who's interested, 3.7 volts. So we'll come back and check in on that soon. But right now, I promised you I want to do one more product thing, and stay with me here, Rex, because actually Rex and I had a meeting about this morning. And on top of the products we've just shown you, I think from a business point of view, this could be the most exciting new development in a long, long time, because in addition to incredible world's best power banks, and we think a gorgeous and incredible home or business charger to have on your desk, in your kitchen, in your den, and so on. We also want to do public charging with this extraordinary device. Also a smart device. So take a look at there, a big, gorgeous, beautiful screen with MAGFAST charging right on the side. So let's take a little bit look at it. As I say, gorgeous and interactive touch screen, okay, which is going to be able to provide folks who are charging while they're waiting with all kinds of stuff, with offers, menus and travel info, plus fast wireless magnetic charging and fast wired USB-C charging. Because when you're at the airport or at the bus terminal or in a restaurant and you're in a hurry, you're going to want to charge your phone, but sometimes you have other devices that you just want to plug in as well. So let's look at the technology that needs to be inside of this thing. It is going to be fully loaded, so it can be programmed to do whatever we want. First of all, advanced secure silicon driving a true smart device. It's going to have NFC. This is the secure proof of presence. This is the system that's used for Google Pay and Apple Pay for touchless payments, which is now pretty much universal everywhere. Even Home Depot have finally joined in. So NFC is now proven in the market. It's been there for years, and we're going to be including it in here, enabling all kinds of secure transactions, including possibly payments. We're going to have Bluetooth in there as well for various types of hookup, plus a Wi-Fi mesh network to help public places to deploy their Wi-Fi. It's a real pain point for many airports and other places as well. Plus, of course, when we're ready with it, the MAGFAST Gen 2 connector. I told you we're going to do a separate presentation about that, but this is super exciting, we think, as well. Plus, we're going to display on the screen interactive micro advertising. We're going to have the opportunity for revenue share, which is great from a business point of view, and have a truly customized service delivery. Be able to do maybe movie downloads and that kind of thing as well. So this is looking really, really exciting. And we can see this in multiple places, in coffee shops, as I mentioned, in airports and that kind of thing, and also at large conferences and so on. So truly incredible product, MAGFAST public charging, fast, reliable, and we believe highly profitable as well. So it's been a kind of race to get through it all, but this is the new MAGFAST. All of the original vision of MAGFAST, but now in Gen 2, magnetic and fast MAGFAST. Coming in a minute, I'll tell you more about the new business model that I think is going to underlie the public charging, in addition to some of the other products. But let's get Rex in and talk a little bit about some of the new marketing and business model stuff. Then I've got our most active investor I want to bring in. We've got the Q&A to get to. And before we do that, let's check in on our demo. Up on the rack, we're a third charged already. The MAGFAST charge just under a third. We're at 31.5, 32 now percent. Just clocked up to 32%.
What are you saying?
Here, I got 3%.
Oh, I'm at 4%. I'm at 4%. So yeah, and maybe you just never. Maybe this has something to do with it, Seymour. Maybe a little bit of.
It could be because that is the difference. We've got a great MAGFAST power bank. If you can just switch to the overhead for a second, please, Philip. We've got a great MAGFAST power brick here, 140 watts. We've got the cheap cable they gave you free with the charger here. All right, and then a pretty good charger here. Rex has a similar setup, but he's using a MAGFAST Lux charger in this bit and seems to be slightly ahead. I just tipped over up to 4% now. So that's where we are. All right, let's get into Rex. Why don't you take us through some of the stuff you've been working on to roll out a bigger and broader vision for marketing?
Yes. Okay. Well, obviously Simon's given you a lot of information about the things going on in the product, and a big slice of the way that Simon spends his day is to do with developing these very, very exciting new products and give us the opportunity to get the fastest, the speediest products into market. And clearly that gives the whole team the opportunity to do new things that we couldn't do before. And that team is very substantially expanded since last time that we spoke to you. In the previous world, our world has changed substantially because of John Fanning and the group of advisors that they brought in. So there are things that we simply couldn't do before. Now, if you've followed MAGFAST for many years, you know that most of our work has been online, and there's no question we will continue to develop the digital marketing expertise that MAGFAST already has, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things we're going to do there. But in yellow, you will see there are two new areas that the company is working in. And many of you have been saying for some time, why are you not developing traditional channels? Why are you not exhibiting at trade shows? Why are you not using retail distribution to get your products into market? And although the team has plenty of expertise in those areas, it's an area we're now really, really spending a lot of our time on, and we're going to meet some of the people who are engaged in that a little bit later on. And we'll also talk a little bit about the network effect that Seymour's begun to introduce. So we'll talk about some of those things that are coming along. All right. So in the online world, in terms of what we're doing for marketing right now, in the online world, clearly there are two big areas that we work on typically. We normally talk about driving traffic. We're talking about demand creation. How do we find people who are out there, and how do we drive more of them? How do we generate demand in the first place? And then once they get to the MAGFAST website, how do we convert them? And you'll see that there are some things that we're starting to do in that space as we move on to the next slide in terms of demand generation.
And as we move on to the new slide, I do need to report that the new MAGFAST power bank is now at 50% charged at just 8 minutes and 50 seconds. Sorry to interrupt. I just thought the halfway mark was important to call out. Meanwhile,
where are you
charger, I'm at 6% on my traditional charger. We're at 50%, and right now that means that you could grab the power bank and run out of the door, and you'd have plenty of charge for the rest of the day in less than 10 minutes. So truly extraordinary. I'm sorry I interrupted you. Carry on.
No. It's a good moment. All right. So the things that we can do that we couldn't do before, and in fact, some of the demand creation activities we're talking about will take absolute advantage of this enormous difference. I mean, a world in which instead of taking hours to charge your power bank, you can do it in minutes. So we've traditionally worked in paid media. There's been plenty of advertising that MAGFAST has spent good money on in the past. And we talk about something called ROAS, a return on ad spend, which means we spend $1. How much do we generate in return as a result of that? But to that paid media, we're adding something which is very exciting, which again, many people have suggested we do for some time, but we are really spending a lot of our big slice of our day working on this now, which is the world of influencer marketing, getting more deeply into social media. Here's an example of one of those influencers. We're actually working with 12 different influencers. And I don't know, Philip, if you'd like to run the reel showing just some of those influencers and what they're starting to do to help us to generate more interest out there. And
this is just fresh in. We only got this in, and this is just like a what you call a super cut. This the reel that goes out. This is like, we made it for you, just a bunch of them all together. Run the tape.
Here we go.
Your phone is charging.
We've all had that one wire that was so broken it only charged from a specific angle, right?
Who cares if it breaks right when you need it or it takes forever to charge your phone?
Your precious smartphone, $1,000. Its lifeline, $5. Makes no sense, right?
I'm guessing you've never heard of MAGFAST Lux cables before?
Upgrade to MAGFAST Lux. This gorgeous cable is fast, won't tangle, it's tough as nails but silky and soft.
Lux cables are essential for me now. They're super strong and able to withstand 25,000 bends, making them a lot stronger than standard charging cables.
Stop settling for cheap. Get MAGFAST Lux and start charging like a pro.
Where has this been all my life? It's mine now.
Now, obviously, it goes without saying that every single one of those is focused on MAGFAST Lux because Lux is the product that's in the market right now, but we will use those influencers and others like them to help us with that demand generation piece as the new products come along as well. So very exciting.
Super exciting.
Yeah, sorry. On the conversion side, so this is when people arrive at the MAGFAST website. We're also investing substantially in that part of the marketing mix as well, if you like, the piece that occurs to get someone to convert, to part with some money. And again, we're still talking about the online activities that MAGFAST does. Now, traditionally, you have spent, if you spend any time considering MAGFAST products, you spent a long time with Seymour, and who wouldn't? Because it's fantastic. But we have this long form webinar approach, very unusual for the hardware space. Long form webinars mean that people come in, they get to learn about the history of the company, they get to learn about the individual products in some detail, they get to fall in love with Seymour and with Kate and spend their time in that. We're also working on a short form format called a video sales letter, which is much more conventional in the online marketing space. And you will start to see some of those things maybe within actually the next, I don't know, a couple of weeks.
Let's just talk really quickly about attribution. I want to give a shout out to our partners at Wicked Reports who have helped us tremendously with this. The world of online advertising originally had this great promise, which is you're going to be able to measure absolutely everything. Anybody here who runs a small business is very familiar with the fact that it's actually much tougher than you think, because all of the different platforms, your Facebooks, your Googles, your Snapchats, your influencer platforms, they're all watching every single click. And as soon as there's a sale, they want to take 100% credit for all of it. But of course, in the real world, that isn't how it happens. People see an ad, and then they talk to a friend, and then maybe they get an email, and then maybe they get another ad on a different platform. So all of these things go together to stimulate a sale. And the puzzle of figuring out the exact contribution that each is making is very, very hard to do and is not done by most online marketers today. We're fortunate that someone of extraordinary insight and intelligence has recently rejoined the team within the last few months. And we're now getting a much more fine-toothed attribution model, both for the investment side of the business, so we understand who's becoming an investor, and also when consumers are buying products. And these results have just started to come through, and it is completely game-changing, is it not?
All of that's extraordinary. Big investment in what's going on in digital marketing. MAGFAST's history has really all been about digital. We're also moving substantially in channels now. And what does that mean? Well, we're at CES and the big consumer electronics show in Las Vegas. Lots going on in that space. We're going to be talking about large-scale retail for the first time. That's getting MAGFAST on the shelves in some major retailers. And in a little while, we're going to be talking about some of the big major partnerships, which are now feasible because of the extended team that MAGFAST now has.
Oh, and actually, Rex, talking of expanded and extended team, this would be a great moment to bring in Andrew, don't you think? Yeah,
the wonderful Andrew Dubin. Yeah.
Let's get him in now. Andrew Dubin, the new chief merchant of MAGFAST. Welcome.
Hi. So glad to be here with Rex and Seymour today. It's super exciting to be a part of the MAGFAST organization.
Andrew, it's such a privilege. It's such a privilege for us to have you on our team now. It's just been amazing. Now, of course, you've worked for some really big global brands. Give us a moment or two on those.
Oh, sure. So I've had the privilege of being a merchant or in a merchant capacity for several well-known brands that you may recognize and know. Most noticeable is probably Tumi, where I was 10 years the vice president of product management and led all the product teams.
Not a brand that everyone's heard of, but an amazing brand.
It's like it's kind of the world's or one of the world's super premium luggage brands. So the people who know it just adore it and are kind of mouths wide open. For folks who don't, oh my God, check out Tumi. It's incredible. People might not be familiar with this phrase chief merchant as well. We should explain that's the individual most in charge of getting the right products into the right places, right, Andrew?
Yes, it's true. I was chief merchant at Cole Haan, the footwear and accessory company, and was part of the transformation of moving it from Nike into the private sector. Thereafter, I was also a chief merchant for Victorinox Swiss Army, the little red knife company,
We heard of
which
it.
also led me to Swiss Gear and Wenger. So I've been involved through the years with being able to sort of develop great products for consumers, and part of that role has been to be an enormous partner to the sales and distribution teams.
So one of the things that MAGFAST has long been intending to do, we actually have people in our team who understand retail and so on and so forth. Well, but we genuinely have done very little in that space. We've done almost everything online thus far.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about some of the nuances and how you intend to go about taking MAGFAST into retail channels.
Sure. So since working with the team, we've created a comprehensive multi-year distribution plan where we plan to bring these extraordinary products, power products, cabling products, to consumers. And while our history so far has really been more of an online method of distribution through e-com and our websites and third parties such as Amazon, we'll now go into brick and mortar retailers where we'll create a multi-year partnership with regional specialty stores in the consumer electronics space, regional chain stores, eventually moving into telcos such as a Verizon or an AT&T shop, and then into national distributions. So through a programmatic introduction to retailers and increase the number of doors that consumers can come and feel and touch product, will create an opportunity for those consumers to touch and feel and really get to know the amazing products that MAGFAST
Just give us a feel. Just give us a feel. I know Simon has another question. A feel for the kind of number of doors we're talking about.
Sure. So
well,
nationally,
excuse me, just for sort of my mother who's watching. Doors means literally the number of doors. Like one Best Buy is one door, right? That's one door that you go through. So when we talk thousands of doors, we're talking about thousands of stores, essentially.
Thousands
right?
of retail establishments.
Exactly. Points of sale. So there's in the U.S. alone approximately 70,000 points of sale or doors in the universe of doors that would be applicable to our types of products. There's certainly more doors than that. But for example, in a Best Buy, which blankets the country in every state with locations, consumers would be able to come to that retailer in the future, see our products, talk to sales associates who would be able to be well trained and able to explain the benefits of our product directly to them, and then that will reinforce the premium nature and the incredible quality that the product teams have put into this product.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things I think that you appreciated when you joined us, Andrew, is that we were already committed to this visceral experience, like the touch and feel being just incredible, right?
Yeah, part of the reason I'm so excited about being here is the true understanding of the teams in premium executions in the products. The touch, the feel, the user experience, every element of it is super exciting. So I've not been this excited about product in many, many years, and I've touched and built a lot of great products through the years. So kudos to this team. I'm just thrilled to be a part of it.
Thank you, Andrew. We're tight for time. I could spend all day with you, but we're gonna have to run. Thank you, and I'll see you in the meeting tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Andrew, thank you so much. The work you're doing in this space, incredibly exciting. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew.
We're looking forward to seeing the results of all of that, which is coming, the opportunity that comes from all of that. And of course, the additional area, the additional real juice that MAGFAST has is now to do with major partnerships. Now, partnerships that simply weren't available to MAGFAST beforehand.
Yeah, they certainly want. And in fact, let's bring him in early. I promised you our most active investor. Let's bring in John Fanning Sr., the founder of Napster. He and his family have been behind, you name like a big deal on the internet, a big internet company of the last, I don't know, 2 decades. And John and his family were in there somewhere or other. John, welcome to this show. Thank you so much for everything that you've been doing for us.
Well, I'm really excited to be here with you guys today. And I'm also really excited to be here during the test. I've been really impressed with the results that I've seen so far in the test. And I really think it's important. The new technology that's being integrated into MAGFAST really is quite impressive. And I think it could make a transformative difference, not just into MAGFAST business, but also into the lives of the consumers that depend on this technology, throughout their everyday lives. And really putting the fast in charging is really exciting for me. So, when we talk about these new partnerships, of course, I get excited about the fact that I have a lot of existing relationships that I've developed over 40 years in the technology business. Going back to, my first company in the 80s that helped Steve Jobs sell Apple's first $5 million worth of computer product in CompuMart. And I can see the impact that these technological advances can have on your ability to sell product and to aggregate customers and to build and grow. And I think it's really exciting. And, of course, later in our career, when Napster was bought by Best Buy, I had the opportunity to work and build lots of relationships at Best Buy. And, including Brad Anderson. I mean, some of the most important lessons I've learned in business, I learned directly from Brad, the chairman of Best Buy. And I saw Rex mentioning CES earlier, and I still remember I was with Brad and he asked me if I was going to walk the floor of the show. And I said, well, I don't really have a badge and I wasn't planning to. And he took off his badge and he gave it to me. And so I got to walk the floor of CES as Brad Anderson, the chairman of Best Buy. And I'll tell you, it was the greatest experience of my life because everybody in the world wants to get these partnerships and these relationships. And it was really fun and exciting. So I think it's a, looking forward, it's a great opportunity for us to work together. And I think I would just close with saying, when we talk about our family and our family's, history of investing, it's probably not that widely known. There was a Forbes article called Uber Rich, but our family were the first investors in Uber. And I'm thinking to myself, if you've only got 8 minutes, in an Uber ride to get your phone or your device half charged, or maybe it's a 15-minute Uber ride, you got to get in, you've got to get it charged, you've got to get it out. Maybe you're between meetings. That can be, at least for me, very critical time to charge your device. Yep. And if we have an opportunity to potentially get this technology into a distribution channel like this, it could have a dramatic impact on how quickly people can get done what they need to get done when they're between meetings. So I think there are lots of opportunities like that come, that maybe you wouldn't have had before that now come from having super fast, possibly the fastest charging on earth.
I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, CMOS is very excited about this new technology, of course, for our customers, but there are people for whom fast charging is going to be crucial. I mean, not just a nice to have, not just an opportunity to charge your phone. There are going to be people for whom charging that power bank and then with the later technology, getting your phone charged that much more quickly in minutes instead of hours is going to be absolutely crucial, opening up markets that no one else can touch.
Exactly, Rex. Opening up new markets that people may not have thought of. Because if you're at an airport and there's a Starbucks at an airport, MAGFAST might be able to build a distribution channel that includes companies like Starbucks because they get them integrated at airports. Somebody has 15 minutes before their flight takes off, and now suddenly their device is, half charged in 15 minutes. That's very exciting benefit. And while at the same time, as Seymour pointed out, they're sitting potentially in front of a device looking at ads for Starbucks and potentially grabbing some things that they might like for the flight. I think it's very synergistic and a very powerful potential business model.
Thank you, John. Which actually brings us on to business models. Would you be able to stay a little longer, because we're going to do a Q&A a bit later, and I'd love to have you there helping to answer some of the questions that are coming in right now.
Sure, I could try to do that. And I know also there's been some questions about, investment.
Hang on. Mr. Fanning, there is no try. Yoda said, do or do not do. There is no try. So you'll join us for Q&A?
I will do that, yes. And I appreciate that you're quoting me, quoting Yoda. And
All right.
and the last point that I wanted to make about investing, sometimes, you can invest just a little bit of money into companies when they're just getting going. And I think, for our family, Uber, I think is a good example of that, because if you had invested $10,000 around the time our family invested in that first round of Uber, at the IPO, that $10,000 I think would have been worth over $300 million at the IPO. So, sometimes getting in early in these technology opportunities can also, lead to very substantial financial rewards. Of course, there's no guarantee of that, and there's certainly, the riskiest investments are the earliest investments, but sometimes they can turn out to be good moves.
Excuse me, I have to break into this broadcast. We have just hit 100% charge on our test track at 25 minutes. We've stopped the clock at 25 minutes, 54 seconds. I'm just going to stop charging here, Rex. I suggest that you do the same.
I'll do.
Yeah. So,
okay. Where did you get to?
So the MAGFAST charger is 100% charged. We've been independently charging the same. Let's say get a great industry product here. I am at, I don't know if you can see it on the camera here, on the top camera. Can we go there? Can we see the 18% there? It's kind of dim, isn't it? I'm at 18% here. What are you showing on?
Mine got all the way as the MAGFAST charger got to 100% to 20%. 20%.
To 20%. So a little bit faster when using the MAGFAST Lux cable. It must be noted. We do hear this all the time about the MAGFAST Lux cables. By the way, just premium electronics inside helps to develop a better connection.
And that gold plating, which really I think potentially
exactly. And many of the we have many 5-star reviews on Amazon, Trustpilot, elsewhere for the Lux cables, and a lot of them comment. They say the fastest charge that they have ever had. All right, Rex, let's rip through the business models real quick. Let's just kind of before we rip through the business models, we just charged a 10,000 milliamp hour. So this is a standard charger in a hair under 26 minutes. All right, and meanwhile. What was I at 18% and you were at 20, Rex? I think.
You got 20. Yeah. So we're talking about the difference between something which charges to 100% in 25, 26 minutes versus for this product in about 2.5 hours. I mean, it's a massive difference. This is not just a kind of incremental improvement in charging speed.
With a better safety profile as well, which is truly extraordinary.
Yes.
All right. I'm sorry, I had to interrupt to do that. Where were we?
We were about to talk about business models, and you said let's kind of rip through this, and you're absolutely right. I mean, the point is that anybody who is considering investing in MAGFAST needs to know about the products we're talking about, because MAGFAST is a products company. Hardware is hard, and we're doing a lot to drive products which are very different and right at the top of their game and the fastest in the world. I mean, which is a huge piece of the puzzle. But you also want to hear about what we're talking about in terms of marketing. And if you don't mind bringing the slides back up again, let's just kind of rip through some of the things that are now available to us in terms of business models. Clearly, up until now, MAGFAST has been in the business of one-off sales. And that means, as mentioned before, that we have traditionally spent $1 in terms of advertising, brought somebody in through some demand creation, converted them using a long form webinar, and then had a return of some kind on that investment. It's a terrific way to build a business. We're talking about doing things that we simply couldn't do before and on a much bigger scale. So in addition to one-off sales, we are also offering MAGFAST people, that includes you, the opportunity to share revenue, includes you, And we're also talking about something which makes perhaps the biggest difference in the world, which is subscription or recurring revenue, where somebody buys something once and the revenue keeps on giving, if you like. If we can move forward to the next slide. One-off sales, our history has been online. We're now moving into retail and partnerships. So we're adding those additional opportunities from channels and so forth. Let's take a little look at what that means, because there are a couple of markets that we want to reference here. The first of them is that the competitors in the space are products, power banks as it happens, that have wireless charging. It's kind of hidden here, but wireless charging is a market which is an area that MAGFAST has excelled in the past, because we've always talked about getting rid of the wires, snap to charge in the Gen 1 products. We're now talking about Qi 2 and new forms of wireless charging. And we expect to be one of the dominant players in that space. A 6.4 billion market in 2024, growing, according to this particular analyst, to a $16 billion market by the end of this decade. So a substantial growth in that space. Moving into a different area, sharing revenue. So we think that there are some ways of ensuring that difficult area, which is generating traction, becomes much easier. So we're looking at some real opportunities whereby when we put in the MAGFAST public chargers, the product that Seymour has referenced already, this big charging network where we can make it free to install, where the retailer or potentially some kind of restaurateur or somebody else who takes one of these items into their retail location could make almost instant income from it. So we're talking about an opportunity for people to have a no-brainer where we put the thing in for nothing and where there's an almost instant form of revenue for the person that takes it in. And there's a potential opportunity for you, which we're not going to talk about in any detail today. But if you'd like to be part of this shared network, then reach out to us, and we'd love to have the opportunity. Many of the MAGFAST investors and customers have engaged in affiliate programs and so forth in the past. We'd love to have an opportunity to work with you on that. So that market, the global mobile phone charging station market, which is quite a mouthful, the market for third-party chargers going into locations where the primary business of that location is not mobile phone charging. It could potentially be some major retail location. It could be a high traffic location like a railway station, a train station, could be an airport, could be a diner, could be somewhere else. The market for those kinds of spaces in terms of providing phone charging, $6.3 billion in 2023, growing, according to this particular analyst, to $25 billion. Why is it growing? Well, because the number of mobile phones is growing. About 6 billion people using mobile phones right now, but constantly growing. And the need for people to charge their phones rapidly and the challenges that people face without having a charge, as we know, growing exponentially all the time. So a massive growth in that space over the coming years. We're very excited to tell you about the opportunity coming up.
I think public charging may be the kind of maybe the sleeper here. I think it's going to be. I'm super excited about it. And one of the things we're so excited about is we have. I told you our team and our kind of network was expanding in the most extraordinary way. We've now teamed up with Martin Sturr. He is a global expert in what's called high traffic locations. These are places like airports, like rail termini, like shopping centers, and so on. He's not able to join us live right now, but he recorded a little film for us. And Philip, if could we please just run that film quickly now?
My name is Martin Sturr. Currently, I'm the managing director of Kinetic Consultancy, which is an international boutique consultancy for airports, rail, shopping centers, conference centers, and other high traffic locations. Next to which, I'm working with MAGFAST on the Gen 2 public charging network, which is an absolute delight because I like what I see. Have you ever traveled through an airport and have seen someone sitting next to a fire hydrant trying to charge their device? Well, you may have seen me sitting there because I get anxiety not when my device is low, but even when it hits below 50%. Maybe that's the same for you. And that's why I feel there's a big opportunity in airports for a sturdy, well-developed charger. Because it's not only finding a charger, it's finding one that works. And the opportunity lies in the business model, which is, I think, very defensible and profitable. Unfortunately, we cannot share too much right now, but hopefully we can do so soon, because we've been designing on a product that will be delivering a fast, smart charging network. And I can't wait to be part of that presentation to you soon, and hopefully live where I can join you. Thank you.
Thanks, Martijn. Martijn is based in Amsterdam, so it's not really the ideal time of day for him. But look, high traffic locations, that means airports and restaurants and shopping malls, I mentioned, and food courts and hotel lobbies and conference centers, concert venues, museums, public parks, train stations, bus terminals, hospitals, universities, libraries. The list goes on. Sports venues, coffee shops, tourist attractions, even beaches. Right, with wireless charging, you can deliver. It might not be the first place we go, but you can deliver charging at beaches as well. All right. So, as I said, there's a lot to get to today. Coming up, we are going to tell you where we hid the Easter eggs in the presentation. I promise we are going to get to that in just a minute. But we have shown you some stunning new products. We've shown you a bold new approach to marketing, bold, broad new marketing, and also just begun to reveal these extraordinary new business models. And I know a lot of people are saying, okay, I'm sold. What do I have to do to invest in MAGFAST? If I may, I'm just going to take a second and explain how all of that works, and then we'll get to then we'll reveal where the eggs are and get to the Q&A and bring John Fanning back in. So, investing in MAGFAST, this is done through an investment portal, Net Capital, certified by, regulated by the SEC. That's the feds, and you don't mess with the feds. The Federal Securities and Exchange Commission. They limit how much we are allowed to raise, and we've actually sold out twice in the past. We're doing this again at Net Capital, our incredible partners in all of this. If you do choose to go ahead and invest today in MAGFAST, you'll be joining 5,375 of our existing investors, most of whom are customers. We're really proud that so many of our customers have decided to join the party. And you will, as an investor, be getting VIP early access to the Gen 2 products and some very special investor pricing. And there are some other perks as well. I'm just going to take a little detour to tell you about this, because I think this perk is absolutely fantastic. If you invest $1,000 or more in this round, you're going to get this gift. It's a product that we're going to be shipping very, very shortly. Manufacturing is currently underway, and it's our second generation of Lux Pro cable in these gorgeous colors. We're going to give you the rainbow pack, and Lux Pro is based on Lux. It's our highest selling product. The day that we launched it, we did $500,000 in sales on launch day, which is something of a record. And the product is absolutely gorgeous, as you can see. And from the ratings, we believe it's America's highest rated smartphone cable. Someone even called it the Rolls Royce of charging cables. And one of the things about it, one of the reasons people love it so much, is that it's absolutely perfect for gifting. I'm just going to hold hold one of the packages up here. You can see it reflecting in the light. The packaging is absolutely gorgeous. The product itself feels simply incredible. This is regular Lux. You're going to be getting the new upgraded Lux. But when we pit Lux against key competitors, there really is no competition at all, and customers just love it. I'm going to flick a few of these testimonials, a few of these comments, a few of these reviews behind me as we speak. Customers come back over and over again. They just love the soft touch and the feel. It's got a lifetime warranty. As I mentioned before, people find that it charges, and this is the existing product. You're getting the new upgraded one. Customers just adore this product, and as simple as it is, it's only a charging cable, but it's an example how MAGFAST can take a category and just be the very, very best within the category. So how do we take this incredible product and take it to the next level? Well, we're taking MAGFAST Lux and upgrading it not to 100 watts as we had originally announced, but to 240 watts. This thing is a screamer. Most products are not even yet shipping that can take the 240 watts. We're going to be one of the first to market with this. Incredible. And it moves data at lightning speed as well. 10 gigabits per second. This is bonkers. You're going to be able to download an HD movie in 3 or 4 seconds or less, provided, of course, the equipment at either end of the cable can handle it. So this is truly an amazing cable. It's designed for absolutely everything, for modern cables, for modern cameras, I should say, and action cameras, game controls and hard drives, desktop hubs, drones. I'm actually using the cable right now, as I'm about to show you. We think of it as our everything, everywhere, all at once cable. So I'm actually using Lux right now. I'm live on a Lux cable. We'll do the overhead camera. In fact, let's just bring the overhead camera in right now. Can we please, Philip? I just want to show you. So here's my laptop here. I'll move my glasses out of the way. One single cable coming in here, and it's delivering the high power, because obviously I'm running quite a lot on this computer at once with all the slides and everything and various kinds of graphics things. Gigabit Ethernet coming in here as well. I've also got the high definition SLR studio camera going in here, and the studio monitor, and then another camera as well. So there's a lot going on here. And Lux Pro is not even breaking a sweat. This, by the way, is what my laptop used to look like until recently, with all cables going in on either side. With Lux Pro, we're able to have it handle it all. It's going to come in a bunch of gorgeous colors. I showed you black earlier on. There's also going to be white. There's going to be this beautiful seafoam green, which I think is Kate's favorite color. Candy pink, which is my favorite color because I'm confident in my masculinity. We're going to do a gorgeous, beautiful sunshine yellow, and this great juicy orange as well. So Lux Pro, a truly remarkable product, and this thing is strong. Philip, can we just roll the film? We took this out on the road the other day to see just how strong it was. The question was, if we were really careful, please don't try this at home, but if we're really careful, we wondered, could we possibly tow a car using Lux Pro? Got a rope attached to it. You saw the first car that got a rope attached to it. The second car had a rope, and we had Lux Pro joining the two together. So this thing is super strong. You're welcome to, as I say, don't try that at home. Don't rely on it as your emergency rope, but you can actually reproduce that test, which is really pretty remarkable. So Lux Pro, incredible, 240 watts of power delivery. That's the industry standard power delivery, 10 gigabits per second. We really are just thrilled with this product, and we're going to continue to plant one tree for every product, for every cable, and for every charger. We're now up to an extraordinary 649,000. Up, it just went up. 413 trees planted. That is about 31 times the number of trees in Central Park, New York. It's really something. You can check it out on their website, trees.org. /MAGFAST, and we even sent Kate, who's in the background collecting your questions together at the moment. We sent Kate off with Brittany, another member of our team, across the world to check on the work in the field, and it's truly extraordinary. All right, other benefits for investors. If you invest today, we're going to guarantee that you're included in the first production run of these new extraordinary new chargers. For every $1,000 you invest, as I just showed you, you're going to get these incredible candy pack of Lux Pro. And also for everyone who decides to go ahead and invest today, we'll get $100 of MAGFAST products. We're going to give you vouchers for every $500 invested. So there's a whole series of bonuses. Of course, you should only invest if this is right for you, but let me just summarize those benefits in case you're thinking of going ahead and joining us and doing this. All right, so investor perks. All right, you're going to get early Gen 2 access for absolutely everyone. You're going to get the Lux Pro gift pack, the candy pack, the color pack that I just showed. It's $185 value. Now that's for every $1,000 invested in this round. You invest $2,000, you get 2 of those multi-packs. 3, you get 3. So obviously that's anywhere in this round, also included if you invest today. And if you invest today, before midnight tonight, we promise to include you in the first production run. Oh, and finally, for every $500 that you invest today, you're going to get $100 worth of MAGFAST products. Going to send you those vouchers. So we're super excited about this. I mentioned before we sold out 2 previous rounds in 2020 and in 2022. Who knows what is going to happen this time? So investing in MAGFAST opens today at 6 p.m. Eastern, and it is going to close a Tuesday midnight in 12 days. Okay, so Tuesday midnight in 12 days. Please, by the way, if you're investing today, a limit of $10,000. We just want to make sure that as many people as possible can get in after today. Please feel free to invest as much as you would like. All right, again, I want to just say, only if this is right for you. Nobody should be giving like their rent money or whatever here. But if investing is right for you, the minimum investment is just, I think it's $110 and change. So it's possible for everybody almost everybody to join in the fun, and we would love it if you would do that. Going to welcome John Fanning back into the room to join us now. John, did you manage to spot any of the Easter eggs that we'd hidden in some of our slides?
Well, I've spotted them all, but of course I'm not going to reveal them because it's not yet.
Not going to reveal them. Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's tell you where they are. We actually did a total of 4 of them. The first of them was in this Richard Branson slide. It was hiding behind him on the screen there. The second one was with the ladies just now out in the field. It was actually a bonus one. It was on that guy's belt. They didn't see the guy hidden in the trees on the right-hand side. It's kind of his belt buckle was replaced with the egg. Too difficult to find them in amongst all of those pictures. We had a couple in plain sight. There was one on the independent verification slide there at the bottom of the logos in the center, and then also on this attribution slide. Attribution just critical. We think we're ahead of 99.9% of companies on attribution. And for each of these, we recommend in your company, Richard Branson, and more importantly, the people who were there, networking, super critical. For trees, it's real. Almost 650,000 trees planted as a result of us. Our customers love this. Our investors love this. It's one of the things that helps people to feel even better about the company. And we believe that these kinds of initiatives just really pay dividends way beyond the actual cost. Independent verification, if you can provide independent proofs and social proof of what your company is doing, that's worthwhile. And this new trick attribution, I gave a shout out to the guys at Wicked Reports. Maybe check them out if you have a digital team. Have them take a look at the folks at Wicked or their competitors, but they're doing really incredible work helping to understand where all the customers came from. All right, we promised to do a Q&A. We're running long as usual because Rex and Kate and John have been kind of talking long.
Particularly Kate, really, honestly, Kate.
Particularly Kate, who's been running. Anyway, but let's sort of do the top few questions now, and then we're going to do a special Q&A next Tuesday. We're going to run a special Q&A where we'll get to even more of the questions. But right now, Kate, hit us. Top questions, please.
Okay, first question. What are the new investor perks, and are there additional perks for larger investments?
So we just went through all of those. I'll run through them again at the end. But for folks who are investing today, the more you invest, for every 500, you're going to get 100 to spend on our products, including, by the way, the public charging product that itself can become a revenue generator. We haven't made any announcements about it yet, but that's absolutely the plan there. And also for every 1,000 that you invest, if you go ahead and invest today, you'll get another of those packs of these gorgeous new Lux Pro cables. One of the reasons, by the way, if you've been with us for a while, it's taken a little longer than expected to bring them to market. And the reason is that Lux cables are famous for the beautiful way that they move. They're super soft. Customers love this about them. We had real difficulty getting this cable has had to be made specially for us. The factory's made this specially for us so that it'll have, even in this much thicker than the original Lux, it has this beautiful, can you see it just moves in this lovely kind of silky way. I don't know how well it comes across on camera, but this thing is just delightful to handle. You're going to love your Lux Pro cables and customers are as well.
Okay, next question. How is this business model different from the past?
Rex, you want to take that?
Well, of course, we talked about various different business models, and I think that the point about this is that MAGFAST has really focused its efforts on in the past on an online marketing, bringing people in, selling one product. We've obviously worked on the principle that finding a new customer is more expensive than going back to the same customer and asking them to come back and buy some additional products. So we have gone back to our existing customers, but it's very different when you have the opportunity to do something we didn't really talk very much about, Seymour, which is recurring revenue. When you provide something to somebody and there are opportunities, because these are smart devices to do additional things, which we aren't really revealing yet. And with the public charging network for people to say, for example, say, well, when I'm in an airport, when I'm in a train station, when I'm at a diner, I'd like to have the opportunity to take advantage of some of these features, fast charging being one of them, because the smart devices might do more. And I wouldn't mind paying a few bucks a month to have that available to me at all times. Subscription revenue, recurring revenue, whole new opportunity to do a lot more than we have in the past.
One of the important things to say about these public charging devices is, because obviously this is going to be a new area for us, I think sometimes a mistake that businesses make is when they become absolutely certain of where they're too certain about the way the future is going to unfold. We have vigorous debates inside the company with the public charging about, will advertising be the best way to go with this, or will the airports rent the chargers from us, or will customers pay to charge, or something? So the most foolish possible thing to do would be to build the units based on one model or another. So the units are being designed to be completely agnostic for the business model that becomes successful. We don't know. Will it be a blend of those things? Will the very best thing to do is we have people pay a quarter for charging? Probably not, but maybe in emergency situations. What we do know always works in airports is, and I say airports as a kind of placeholder for all high traffic locations. We know that advertising always works in these places, and our estimates. And again, these are just early stage estimates, but our estimates of the advertising value of each of these stations in a high traffic location is up in the single digit hundreds of dollars per month, which means that the cost of the equipment is paid for very, very quickly indeed. Super excited about recurring revenue and about revenue that recurs as a result of the way that the equipment is installed. Kate.
Okay, next question. Are Canadian clients eligible to invest, and is the investment window still open?
Absolutely.
We love our Canadian. We love our Canadian investors. We love it. There is one point to be made, which is that international investors typically have to invest using a credit card. Typically have to, or a wire. You could do a wire transfer as well. The ACH option is not available. The bank.
Very good. And I think there's a small. Most people choose credit card. There's a small fee for doing that, which is just paying the credit card costs. All right, next question, please, Kate.
Next question: are there plans to expand to international markets?
Absolutely.
Okay, easy question and answer. What happens when this investing round sells out?
Wow.
Sells out, I guess.
Well, you are.
Well, I think that's a question I might be able to answer, because under the federal rules that Seymour has spoken about, there is a limit to the amount of money that a company can invest. And so if this round reaches its maximum, it's quite likely that it would take months, maybe 6 months, before the federal government would even allow them under the rules to do another offering. And as we know as entrepreneurs, a lot can happen to a company in 6 months.
Yes.
And I think that there could potentially be opportunities to go into other public markets looking for capital. So this could potentially be the last opportunity for retail investors to get into the company before, I think, before an IPO. If that happens in the future, this could be the last opportunity.
There you go. Kate?
Thank you, John. Let me see. I just have a couple more questions. Will there be wireless charging options or new features such as overcharge protection? And I guess they're talking about the new products that are coming out.
Yes. So this is a very short one. Overcharge protection. We get this question a lot. Overcharging was a facet of rechargeable devices way back. Even not very good modern products tend to have that built in. But yes, absolutely, world-class overcharge protection, both for the products that we are charging and as our products accept power from outside. And with the Iontra technology that we're talking about earlier on, this becomes even more important because we're moving more charge around at higher speed, more safely, yes, but at higher speed. So overcharge protection, it's kind of like, when you fly on a plane and they say, your safety is our number one concern, the safety of our products is the number one concern. So all the fun comes with the in-flight meals and arriving at your destination, but the kind of foundation of the whole thing is safety, and overcharge protection, overheat protection, and so on is fundamental to that. Yes.
And to answer the first part of the question, yes, all of our charging will have wireless charging options as well.
Yes.
Okay, so just two more. I just lost my place. I just lost my place again. Oh, will the new product line include accessories for Apple Watches?
Yes. We're not ready to show it yet. But yes, for Apple Watches and for other devices as well. The beauty is the whole industry has coalesced around these two standards now. USB-C for wired charging, and this kind of circle of magnets is called Qi 2. Apple call their version of it MagSafe, but they're very, very similar and interchangeable to a large degree. So yeah, we're absolutely going to support that. And within our system, we're going to have a way of supporting Apple Watch and all kinds of other devices as well. I mean, you can plug it, if you've got your Apple Watch cable, you can plug it in anyway because it's USB-C, but we're going to have a better way of doing it as we are for other products as well.
Thank you. Okay, last question. Will there be post-event summaries or a dedicated status page for updates?
Yes, indeed. So over the coming days, we will be sending you follow-up texts and emails. We're going to repost a replay of this. We'll probably, Philip, if you could get to work straight after this and cut down a shorter version of it as well. We'll put out clips. But yeah, absolutely, everything that you need is going to be available in the next few days. But don't you want to be in by midnight tonight because all of those bonuses that we were showing you? I guess you can do that if you know that this is right for you. If you can't get comfortable quickly, then we will be sending out extra materials. Absolutely. And Net Capital, one of the rules of the SEC is that the Net Capital portal contains all of the information that is necessary all together in one place, including the kind of the formal legal side of it. I would warn you that it's extremely easy to invest. Net Capital have made it. You can just click on the button. If you've got a credit card handy or a banking information handy, within a minute or two, you're going to be there. You're going to be done, and you're going to be an investor in MAGFAST while we work hard to just take this thing to the moon.
Worth mentioning right now, thank you. It's worth mentioning right now that, of course, Katie, you've extracted the sort of top questions from a lot coming in. There is another Q&A session next Tuesday, I think.
Yes.
There will be more of these same kinds of questions. So thank you. Those are great questions. Good selection, Katie.
Brilliant. I think we better wrap this thing up now. It's going to quickly go over the perks again. People have been asking about. If we can just bring it up on the screen, please. This is the big one, the $185 gift, the gorgeous Lux Pro. You're going to get the 5-pack, the color pack. The black ones are going to ship with the new second generation chargers, but these second generation Lux Pro cables, or I should say upgraded Lux Pro cables, they're going to come in this beautiful sort of rainbow pack that we call it, $185 for every $1,000 invested today. Also, if you invest today, there's going to be guaranteed inclusion in the first production run, plus $100 of MAGFAST products, in addition to everything else, $100 of MAGFAST products for every $500 invested. So invest 505, you'll get 100. Invest 600, you get 100. 700, you get 100. Invest 1,000, now you're up, and you'll get 2 of these $100 vouchers. I think we actually break them into slightly smaller bits, don't we, Kate? So you don't have to spend 100 at a time. And then let me just run the summary chart again for you, real quick here. Let's just flash that up on the screen, please. Build it all up, how all of the benefits go. And I just want to point out here that folks who are already investors with MAGFAST, you're going to have, whether or not you choose to go ahead and invest again today, you're going to get the benefit of being first in on this new generation of products, early access and special pricing on the second generation of products. So that's it. Please invest in MAGFAST. We're open 6 p.m. Eastern today, closing in 12 days, Tuesday at midnight. Whether or not you feel that this is right for you, we would love to, we only want you to join if you do feel that this is right for you. If not, hold your horses. Please make sure that you make the right decision. No matter how excited you feel about this, it's only appropriate to go ahead if it's right for you and your circumstances. But we'd love to have you join the MAGFAST family. As we always say, only if this is right for you. Jump on over, press the button, if you can see it around me here on the screen, or go to magfast.com/invest, magfast.com/invest. All right, team, thank you very much. You guys have been amazing. Kate, thank you for your patience and for assembling all of those questions as they came in. John Fanning Sr., it's a delight and a sincere sensation having you. That's, by the way, it's a Woody Allen quote that I always thought was very funny. I think it was from Manhattan. It's a delight and a sincere sensation. It is truly delightful. It is truly sensational having you kind of on our team. How often do we meet? 3, 4, 5 times every single week, and we would not be where we are without you. So a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart.
We try to meet every day, and it's one of the highlights of my day, spending time with the team, and it's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of hard work.
Thank you. And Rex, I mean, the way this works is that, John and I come up with, not all, but we kind of stimulate, catalyze a lot of the ideas. Rex then turns them into something that is possible rather than impossible, and goes away and makes it all happen. So again, Rex, completely impossible without you, as it is with you, Katie. So thank you so much for joining us today. Please invest in MAGFAST if this kind of thing is right for you, if it feels like the right thing to do, if you feel super excited about what you've just seen. We'd love to have you join us. And we'll see you at the next one. More live streams like this coming soon from MAGFAST, where we are working, are we not, to change charging for good.